we are almost a go. Konnichiwa minasan and welcome. Rakeke Shirba. And yeah, it's been a while since I decided to drop in on you guys with any sort of streaming content. So, it's been a while, I'll admit, but I think it's time we get back into things. Considering we're kind of in the middle of quarantine, especially here in California, where we're not allowed to go out unless we're getting food or whatever, I think now's a better time than ever for me to try and get back into the setup when we're just doing something casual, trying to make the best of it. And so, I figured we'd try and get back into things with our good old buddy Spyro. And, sorry. But, yeah, I had to get a little setup here because it's been a while since I touched the PS4. But, we're ready to go. We're going to get right back into where we last left off with Peacekeepers. Looking forward to whenever you guys show up. If you're watching in playback, keep those comments coming. And if you really want to support the channel in any way, there's not much I can do. And not like you'll be seeing this as much. I'm mostly going to be doing these streaming things. But if you're interested, please leave a like down below. Comment if you want me to do something in particular. I don't have a lot of games for this system, but I'll see what I can do. Either way, let's get going. Right back here in Peacekeepers. Just getting myself reacquainted with the controls because it's been a little while. But yeah, definitely an improvement from the previous game if my excitement from when it first came out was not clear. But we will be getting anyways. And so, here goes our first dragon. Tight.
Welcome to Peacekeepers. Look how our treasure has been stolen and turned against us. Please, recover our treasure, Spyro.
Collect treasure. Got it.
Yep. Always nice to hear these dragons. And there's our first gnorc. Well, let's get into it. Sometimes I forget that the controls aren't really as snappy as the original, but whatever. Whatever works. And doing that keeps those guys from coming after me. Feel free to take in the scenery as I'm doing this, by the way. It's been a little bit since I played, but I will do my best to keep going. It's interesting that some of these creatures that you find don't exactly look like the way they do in the original game. Those little critters, I couldn't tell what they originally were. I thought they were like goats or something. It was hard to tell at first. But now it's clear that they're rabbits. Yeah, these little guys. And here's something classic. These guys run. And they run and hide. Let's see how they react. Classic mooning gnorc. Of course, they'll be mooning you, but when you get closer, usually they get terrified. There you go. Just clearing up some space here. You guys better run. So yeah, definitely a blast to check this out if you get the chance. I'm just gonna keep exploring here, try and get as much treasure as I can. Sorry there's not much I can talk about right now, but really when you got something like COVID-19 right now, it's kind of hard to talk about much. But I am trying to do my best to keep distracted, and I still have some hope. It's kind of strange. Recently, I actually posted I shared a link over on my DeviantArt for a status update, which is actually my church. I just figured, hey, some people could use some kind of hope, so why not, right? And let's see here. Let's see who's gonna respond. Magnus.
Hey, Spyro. Sparks the Dragonfly has been doing a good job protecting you. Make sure to keep him strong by feeding him lots of butterfly.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of obvious at this point. There's no real secret behind that. I don't even have to do much right now. But this part has gotten a little odd because it doesn't keep you snapped into position all the time. At least it does its job in keeping you doing its blasting. And it even tracks where you shoot. Good. So yeah, always good to see this game back in its stride. I had some issues from connections before, but now that we got some fixes to that internet, hopefully we won't have much to worry about in terms of our connection. Hopefully. Knowing my luck, we're going to end up with another 2.5 episode or something. Since the last time I played this game, though, I will say I have completed the game 100%. I've completed the game. I haven't gotten all the trophies, but I have done the classic 100%, 120, and so on, based on whatever game I play. But it is good to know that I still got this in the bag. Admittedly, I'm just kind of talking to myself at this point with nobody following me on the screen. But if you guys watch this in playback, hopefully you'll get the chance to check it out. And we rescued Ghana.
Well done, Spyro. Keep up the good work, and I know you'll fulfill your destiny.
Destiny? I just want to kick some...
Just toast those enemies and collect the treasure.
And I wish he had a better voice in this version. Nothing against the guy who voiced him here. He does a great effort for his job and for his role this time. But with Gunnar having such a deep voice in the original, it's kind of hard to not notice it. Ah, shoot! It's kind of hard not to notice the changes when they pop up. And an extra life. Nice! Didn't even notice that blue one for a second. But it's always a good idea to recheck these places. And when you see the critters, always flame them. It can give you a good hint. That was funny. I actually saw that sign's name kind of flicker and zip right back to one side, depending on how close I am to one. Let's see. There we go. Now we're getting back into this. Alright, let's see. Are we close? Yeah, we got the 200 gems. Nice. Now I just gotta fly this way. There we go. Doing good so far. Now our next stop will be Dry Canyon. We're gonna do things similarly to what I did the last one. Try and get every major world through first time around. Which will be impossible when we get to the later games because there will be some backtracking. Hey, TV. Alright, that's cool to hear. You're getting very close. It's not easy to do 100% in that one. Because when you're getting into Autumn Plains, not Autumn Forest, you're going to need to backtrack and get the, when you get the head bash move for some of those spots. But thanks for showing up in the stream, man. It's always good to have somebody around watching. Hey, Pika. Always good to have you around. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Let's get after that little... Get those enemies out of the way, and then... Oof, come on. These thieves. I tell you, it feels like they're constantly... Oh, there we go. I just beat that one. But it feels like in this game, the increased speed of those guys. Not sure why, but... Whoa! Nice try. Okay. And there's a dragon right here.
What?
Conan.
Oh. Thank you for releasing me, Spyro.
It's not the same as the old "thank you for releasing me" line, but it's always good to hear some variation on it, so it's not stale. Roast vulture, anybody? Alright, buddy. You don't have to keep swinging that poor bird. You'd all be at your butt if it weren't for what's going on recently. Well, let's at least get to the next area. Yeah, we'll head this way first. So, TV, I know this is a first time for you on the stream proper. Yeah, I know how this works. I've played the game a lot as a kid, so I know how it operates. Ah! Okay, so... Curiously, TV, what was your favorite stage from this game since you beat the first Spyro game already? It's not easy to beat this game 100%, I'll tell you that. Gotcha! And again, I apologize if I'm not being as vocal this time around. This is just me getting back into this, and getting back used to streaming and whatnot. Well, that's fair. It's hard to get some favorites. But trust me, you'll see a lot of memorable characters and stages once you get to the next game. Wow, it took you this long to get that tree down, Pika? I would have thought you would have gotten that down sooner or later. Yeah, I think you told me that the other day. Nice JoJo reference, too. Yada, yada does it. Alright. It's gonna be a while before we can get to that one section, but... I just want to get the treasure here first. If I can. Whoa! Almost... Woo! Wow, I can't believe I forgot about that little quirk with those explosive chests. Oh, right, okay. And yes, I know they made the JoJo references with Meowth doing the posing and him doing Dio's line. You know, muda muda muda. Alright, so we'll have to come back here for the chest in a little bit. Any luck on you getting Spyro, by the way, Pika? Just curious. Alright, so this is the next guy. He at least has some more interesting stuff to say than Conan. Ivor, okay.
Is that you, Spyro? Are you the young dragon I've been hearing so much about? Ever since you were a wee puff of smoke, we've known,
You've
known?
I forget.
Of course. Making fun of how people in their waning golden years can't remember as much. Well, I'm actually gonna... Wait, why am I going this way? Oh. I'm gonna head right back toward where we were before and go rescue Boris next. You'll see Boris soon enough. And so, TV, from this first game, which dragon was your favorite? I mean, just curious. Anybody, feel free to chime in based on what you've seen of the game. What's your favorite stage? What's your favorite dragon line? Just from the clips that you may have seen? anything just to get some kind of commentary here. Nice. So there's a dragon up there. That one always gave me a hard time as a kid. I couldn't figure out how to get up there for the life of me. Whoa! Okay. Whew. Let's see here. Oh, not there. I really do enjoy the music in this game. There's really no denying. I still like the original Copeland music, but there's no denying that they did him justice in this game with the music. Alright. Here's Boris.
Dry Canyon rewards good gliders. You are a good glider, eh, Spyro?
I was born to glide.
I feel like they kind of changed the tone of that one. Maybe just because of Tom Kenny's delivery compared to Carlos Alazraki? I don't know. Kind of a different thing there along with how the dragon was responding. But that's just from what I've noticed. Whoops. There we go. Anything else in here? I think I got it. And now this was a glide I never knew existed when I was a kid, but once I got past this point, I felt like a genius getting over here. Because remember, the cameras are kind of weird when you play with the original PlayStation controller, and they had to accommodate for the fact that they didn't have the analog sticks. They didn't have the camera back then. But shortly after the DualShock controller was introduced, well, that changed the game. Whoa, Spyro, easy there, man.
Incredible glide, Spyro. I thought I'd be stuck here forever with those ugly vultures standing on my head.
Those birds might look tough, but they're pretty tasty. Flame broiled with a pinch of salt.
Right. All the dragons are safe. Good. Also, one thing I didn't mention before, aside from the autosave being a cool thing, they have a nifty minor feature that you might not have noticed. You'll notice that the light on my DualShock 4 actually has the same lighting that matches Sparks' color. So, when you play it, and when you get hit, it actually changes color along with Sparks. So it'll go from yellow to blue, and then green, but once Sparks is gone, it'll be red. So it'll indicate that you're pretty much out of health at that point. Guys are getting a little silent on me, it's kind of awkward. Oh well, let's see here. Oops. Right. I forgot which one was the treasure locate button. And we got the 400%. I mean, 400 gems. Nice. Level 100%. Now all that's left is to get to the next stage. Being honest here, the game is still amazing, but I will say that the flight stages have kind of suffered because of some compromises they had to make later. Excuse me a moment. Alright, sorry about that. Had to take care of a quick conversation with my folks. I'm kind of curious why they didn't could get back with this pearl gimmick in the later games for this one. It seems kind of strange, personally. But I guess they were trying to figure out the kinks. But whatever. Next up, we got Cliff Town. Let's see here. Ah, shoot. I guess I gotta go live and figure out what's going on here. Sorry guys, I did not anticipate this happening. Let me see if it's affecting the commentary right from my laptop here. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I really don't know what happened there. I am following up with you guys here. And yes, I do know about that, Pika. I'm planning on doing that for Spyro September this year if I ever get to it. Food Wars, not sure. Okay. Let's see here. Alright. I really had no idea that the chat broke on the PlayStation. That is really weird. Well, as long as we're getting commentary and responses somewhere. Also, who knew that you could just blow into the pots to get after the gems? What is that, like gem soup? Who would eat gem soup? That's weird. Grilled lizards. You. Oh boy. Yeah. That is really weird when you have to do that. Thank goodness that YouTube is able to help out to some degree when you're using the laptop right next to it. I'll get that thief soon, don't worry.
How's a dragon supposed to flame metal armor anyway?
Remember, Spyro, flame won't work on metal, but charging with your horns, that should do the trick.
I think that guy might be the same guy that voices Hunter in this game. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, gosh. Well, there's that light color change, like I said. Now, where is that little bugger? Shut up, you. Ow! Seriously? Alright. Where's that guy? Really? Sheesh, I forgot he takes the shortcut. Try to get around, beat him. Ouch. These are even worse than the regular game, the original game. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he did at one point. I mean, these are Peacekeeper's dragons. They probably were specialized in making weapons. And I forgot the light on here is green. Now, don't expect me to do this very often, but I'm gonna have to try. I'm to just let the kills go by. I'm gonna have to go back and heal up a second. Sorry. Let's see here. I'm sorry, dude. It just happens. You tend to go chasing after a guy for a while, and it really does get you dizzy after a little bit. If you're watching. I think that might be whatever motion blur they added into the game. I would have tried doing it regularly, but for some reason it just really becomes a hassle when they get rid of the blur. I don't know what's up with that. And Pika, just because this game had dragons that are kind of in the shade of purple, doesn't mean that he is technically a purple dragon. In fact, oh gosh, we got someone coming in. Anyway, yeah, that dragon I would call more of a pink or magenta than I would a purple. Let's see. Oh, right. That joke, I forgot about it. Ah, shoot. It's a little noisier than I would have liked, because I have to keep my ear out for my folks outside. I mean, who knows what they could need me for at this time. Gem soup, made with fresh gems. For the record, I'm not going to go for all the trophies or the skill points. That's just going to be a bit of a hassle in this case.
Hey, what's on the other side of that river?
Why don't you glide there and find out?
Well, it seemed a little more casual this time. Last time, in the original game, it was more snarky. Like, Spyro was just asking, and then the original dragon was, like, trying to snark back. Oh! Ah, darn it. First time that happened in a while. So now we gotta reset this one. Well, at least it brought me right back to the same spot. Alright. Now the trick with that part, as they'll tell you in later games, you gotta take a walking start when you make the jump, glide at the top of your jump, and then in later games they will tell you to hover before you make it to the platform's edge. Now this game probably feels the most Banjo-Kazooie-esque, because I know a lot of people make that connection. No, this one does not have the hover button. Hover was not invented until Spyro 2. But yeah. When it comes to the stages in this game, they do feel very Banjo-Kazooie-esque. Probably the most here compared to any other game. Or at least in the Spyro series that I'm aware of. So... And yes, they do have that invisible barrier in this game, which is not really as included as much in the later installments, now that I think about it. Okay, there's more gems down there. I'll get to the sparks. Trying to get through this one fell swoop.
You've reached the highest point in Clifftown. You can get to almost anywhere from here. If I were you, I'd use that whirlwind over there.
It hasn't formed yet, but it is here. Yeah, that world. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, excuse me. There we go. Now, as for Spyro and Smash, I really would be more excited to see him than Crash any day for that game. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't accept him either. I'd be okay either way, but I would still be a little bit bummed. And I don't know if I'd call this the highest point in Clifftown, but it definitely would be helpful. As for Donkey Kong 64, I'm not entirely sure how that would work with Rare's situation. You know, how they kinda working with the Microsoft and all that right now. Yeah. Oh, that straight shot actually worked. Well, let's take a look and see what we get up there. Yeah, I know, Pika. I'm surprised that they were able to get Banjo-Kazooie all in the original games. I mean, in Smash, period. That kind of surprised me. Oh, I keep forgetting that one area back there. Well, gotta fly up. I gotta zoom on back. Again, the idea with this playthrough, when I do the stream of this game, for at least Spyro 1, is to make sure that I get it 100% on the first time round. And again, I have done that. I have gone all the way, 120% with this original game. Yes, 120%. I'm not joking about that one. If you remember Spyro September, you'll know why that is. I have talked about all the games from the classic timeline in full over there. I may post a link in the description of this video once. That was a clumsy glide. I apologize. Yeah, that's always that hard thing to do the first time around. Thankfully, with this game, Spyro does have the gem tracker ability right from the start in all 3 games, so you do not get through that stupid hassle. Alright, so that's it for Clifftown. We'll see how we go from here. Hopefully my memory is still good enough in these games that I can breeze through them pretty quickly. I'm going to try and avoid doing one thing to hang in Ice Cavern. Or I forgot the exact name off the top of my head, but you'll see. The last stage. I also find it strange that it's the Spyro games that have the best ice stages. I don't know why. That's really strange. A lot of my favorite stages are just some that show a big contrast compared to... I mean, for this game, my favorite stages are the ones that have the biggest contrast between them. Yeah, quit boning me, you guys. Whoa, that was a weird glitch he had. He just flipped right through the tent. Oops. Oh well. Let's see here. And now here we go. Ice Cavern. There we go. That's the name of the stage. Again, I don't know why. The ice stages, or any stage that has some real shocking differences between them, those are the stages I like the most from this first game. So, Artisans, I'd have to say my favorite stage would have to be the, I have to say Dark Hollow because it's at night compared to everything else. But I do like how they elaborate on a lot of this stuff. Now there's a glide that you can make over this way, but I'm not going to do that just yet. Just gonna zip around back here. Oh, these big guys. And these bats, they're always tricky to hit whenever you're playing through this one. Because the bats are the only thing that can help you get health back in this area. So you sometimes have to jump in order to get the butterflies, or your critters to get the health pickups. Oh!
A word of caution, little one. Wait until you grow big, like me, before charging those large enemies.
They have a real fascination with the whole charging large enemies thing in this game, or charging with armor. Or I think they really wanted that to stick in for some reason, to have players try to figure some things out on their own if they could, just in case that they missed the dragon. I'm not sure why, but it definitely feels that way. There's something like that in the original game that they skipped out on, but who knows? What? Actually, I haven't played the Steven Universe games, honestly. I haven't had any desire to play them, but now that you and I are trying to go through the show itself, I might give it a shot. But a lot of the games aren't that big a note, and most of the games are mobile games. I'm not gonna try and do a mobile game like that, honestly. I've already got like a couple Marvel games, and I'm trying the new, or at least I got started with the new Seven Deadly Sins game that was released on mobile by Netmarble. Oh, these pulls. I always get nervous sometimes at first when I don't do that, because I'm nervous I would fall off the cliff. And this one was somehow my favorite dragon, Todor, from this stage.
Spyro, some big gnorcs up ahead are wearing armor. And in the ice cave, armor can make their feet very slippery.
And knowing how much you like characters that use a bow for some reason, Pika, what with your dying OC Rider, I think that dragon might be your favorite in the remake here, just because he uses a bow. We don't see him fire the thing, but hey, it's definitely different. Again, yeah, I haven't played any of the Steven Universe games. And honestly, now that I think about it, with this stage in particular, whoa, almost fell. There we go. I keep forgetting that these bats actually can be hit in the original game. I had no idea that they could be hit, so I always just kept avoiding them. So when I ended up getting the butterflies somehow, I'd be like, what? How did I do that? Also, note, this stage is the only one in the entire franchise that I'm aware of, not in any, at least for the original trilogy, that you can actually charge at a large enemy because they are armored. That is interesting, because most of the time, not a lot of enemies were large and had armor on at the same time. I mean, sure, you had the large enemies that you could easily walk around to the backside and hit them like large body Heartless. But in this game, no. This one stage, they're fully armored. You have to charge them off the cliff because of the ice around you. Andor.
Thank you for releasing me.
And very generic. Bye-bye. Yeah, clearly not the most inspired... That was clearly not the most inspired of dragons, because he just used the same line again. At least the older dragons actually have something to joke about when they have that sort of line. Get some written material. I'll get back over there in a second, but I'm just showing off the stage as best I can. And, once I get up to that next dragon, you'll see where I'm gonna go with this. What's interesting is that those small enemies that shoot the snowballs, you can technically charge through the snowballs, I think, and you won't get hurt. But once you... And you can even flame the snowballs, and it'll keep the attacks from hitting you. If I remember right. I haven't done that in a while. But it is interesting to note about that part. And also when you're playing through this stage, I mean, yeah, I don't know why. This stage is one of my favorites because they have so many different things thrown at you, and and sometimes they can even make you think or use strategies that you wouldn't otherwise use throughout this game. Hey Monk, sorry I didn't notice that you were on, like I said. I mean, yeah, you guys probably know the chat broke. You guys are lucky that I got my laptop right over to the side here, because otherwise I don't think I would have been able to note any of that. Alright, so here's the next spot here. This is a little tricky to note first time around. And this is the only time I found where the drop is actually helpful. You can actually save yourself from that fall if that happens. I haven't actually used it any time before that. And now, I'm actually going to go right back to the start of the game, or the stage. Hopefully I can find a battle way, because the bats are really tricky to get first time around. Shoot! Got it! So, how you doing, Muck? Hope you're doing fine. And again, I don't think I've seen this from the chat. I hadn't had the chance to look back. But for you guys who have played the game or seen clips of it, and from this original game, either Reignited or the original, which stages were your favorite? What was your favorite dragon that you saw get rescued? And this is a tricky fight that I could not figure out the first time around. Again, though, feel free to let me know what your favorites for this game are in the chat or the comments. Definitely a blast to play through, for sure. Yeah. Quit showing off your brutes. Alright, so... yeah, that glide was a very tricky one, but it can be very helpful, because it gave you some extra lives. Now, there's one other area high up that you can't get to normally, so I'm gonna have to head back out here. Do not go to return home. We'll talk to the dragon, Asher.
Thanks for freeing me, Spyro. And now, where was I?
Yeah, he's been so old, he kind of forgot what story he was... I mean, he was probably in the middle of telling a story, and then forgot where the heck he was before. Let's see here. Okay, well, honestly, Skylanders was just okay in hindsight. I made flack on it a lot, just because I held it up to a different standard for so many years. But, yeah. Okay. Whoa! Almost fell off the cliff there. Always watch yourself. This is one area that a lot of people don't realize exists first time around if they don't know to follow the gem path of that one step. As soon as I find a bat, I am going to roast that sucker. Come on. There we go. Oh yeah, these poles are always tricky. At least in the original game, you can get the bounce more frequently and know when you hit it. Whoa! I'm going to see if this flame works. Apparently not. I thought that could work. Nope, it doesn't. Get back up this way. Let's see. I'm sorry, the spinning bats are gonna get you dizzy after a bit. Hopefully, I can get back up and get that chest later. Alright.
You've done well, Spyro. Some dragons thought you weren't ready, but I knew they were wrong.
I'm ready, all right. Ready for what?
Yeah, that was actually a better rendition of the line this time around. It's like, I'm ready, all right. I mean, the original was more like, yeah, I'm ready, but only sounded like he was questioning it as if he were about to leave. Like, ready for what? Here, he's like pointing that out right away. I'm ready, all right. Wait, ready for what exactly? As for the dragon, fun fact, he actually was more of a light blue in the original game of some sort. It was like a powder baby blue or something. I don't remember the exact color, but I remember him, Ragnar, being blue in the original game. Here, he is actually pink, kind of helping him stand out amidst all the blue that's already there. And there we go. All the gems found. How did that get over here? weird bug. I didn't even know that was there. It didn't even have the hit detection. Let's see here real quick. Okay, so we got 100% everything so far. Would you guys like me to take on the boss, Dr. Chef, first this time? Or would you rather see me take on the flight stage first? Feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I'm just gonna make the call really quick. Feels kind of strange how to see the playback of this stuff first. Yeah, I'm checking out the playback here. That part's not as surreal as you would think, but it's surreal how slow it is by comparison. Alright, flight stage it is then. Pika, if you're there, sound off if you want to see the boss before the flight. But it sounds like a lot of, like so far, the other guys just want to see me save the boss fight for last. Remember, if you wanted to see Toasty, he's back in Artisans, you're going to have to look at the previous playthrough for that. So we're going to the next stage, Night Flight. And oh boy, the flight stage is in the remake. I have the originals downloaded on my PS3, also up on the cabinet where I have the PS4. And that game, the flight stages are smooth, crisp, they're a lot easier to maneuver through. For whatever reason, they kind of did Spyro wrong this time around, and the flight, I mean, it's okay, but with how they tried to make it a little more realistic in spots, it really threw me for a loop. No pun intended on that. Ah, shoot. This always got me every time in doing the remake. This is really, really tricky. And I've memorized these flight stages a lot in this original game, because I had to do them so many times. But they also happen to be the same way when you're just playing through. And they were... I don't remember them being this tricky in the original game. I think it's the flight controls in this game that really does this one dirty, so to speak. Ah! That was close. Okay, now the arches. Sorry, I kind of got to stay focused a little bit here. Ah, shoot. Kenny Loggins, that would have been helpful in a lot of these. Just because there's some rings in this one doesn't automatically make it a Superman 64 reference. Trust me, from what I've seen of the gameplay, Superman 64 is worse. Alright, come on. Come on. Yes. Now for the arches. Highway to the danger zone. Gonna take you. That drop. Yeah, this may be smoother, but there are times when I kind of miss the more snap turns the original game in spots. Feels like you're taking some wide arcs in this one. Now, for the record, there is potentially a faster route to beating this stage, like with a lot of the flight stages. And I've seen some people even try to speed run through these once they get past this part. However, it's always tricky when you do time trials in any of these Spyro games, trying to get through these a lot faster. So for the sake of ease, I'm just going to go through it the normal way, like most players would. Just because I don't want to screw up my first time around. Count the lighthouses. Oh boy, the lighthouses. I feel like I just barely get to these in this game. And there we go! 9/10 of a second to spare. Oh my gosh. Wow. No, I do not want to retry that. I am satisfied. So there we go. We got through that flight stage relatively easy. So I'm going to keep with what I said in the original stream, where I'm sticking each homeworld to their own little chunk of a part, if I can. Otherwise, I'm going to split them up as needed. Again, I will probably do some fixes to that once we get to the, when we get to Spyro's 2 and 3, I'll also add in a part where I handle all the backtracking separately. Or maybe just do it a little bit beforehand. What do you think? Should I try and do, when I get to Spyro 2, that was weird, when we get to Spyro 2, should I try and save the backtracking for the first and the next homeworld part, or what? I'm not sure. Just let me know. And now, yeah. Hey, Sean, you just caught up at the tail end. We're gonna take on Dr. Shemp. Which, fun thing, I don't know if you guys noticed, but the original Thief audio is very similar to Shemp's laugh, as in Shemp Howard from the Three Stooges. Shemp was kind of an inside joke with this stuff in the Spyro crew originally. I don't know why they brought these ladies back. They seem to bring back at least one major enemy type from a previous stage when they get to the boss stages. Adding in something different is okay, but it's kind of strange when you see these big ladies be the returning enemy for this stage. Yeah, and these guys kamikaze themselves. And meet. Oh yeah. I don't know if I did that right, but what happens here is funny. Look at these guys. You can literally just step out of the way and they'll kill themselves. They're like suiciders. If they don't do it for mama, I'm not worth living anymore. Goodbye, cruel world. Ah, man. It's hilarious. We always need a good laugh, right? And you can't really do that here, because when you get through this part, these guys always end up trying to just bum rush you, like, out of nowhere. So either you gotta be quick with the reflexes, jump, or do that. It's like, I actually stepped back, and they seem to surprise you a little faster in the original version. Yeah, no joke. But I'm just gonna let these guys suicide themselves if possible. Oof. And two of the guys already kamikaze themselves. The only downside with the boss stage is that unless you're lucky enough when you get respawned enemies, they literally, you do not have any creatures to help you respawn health. And there's a reason for all the collecting here, because once you get to the boss part, it's gonna be hard to do any more collecting and getting out here. So it's good to do all this in one clean sweep if you're able to. No idea who put the 25 gem here, but what are you gonna do, right? So we'll drop here. Got the key, because there is gonna be a key in there. And you will have to get back and get that lady later, trust me. So we're just gonna head this way and take on the boss. Thankfully, there's at least one dragon here that does some commentary. we'll see that boss shortly. Let me get this out of the way really quick. Gotcha! Alright, so now it's a boss fight! Which, again, these bosses aren't really that intimidating in this game. And they very classify as bosses. A lot of people would call these just like extended levels. There's Dr. Shemp up there. And yes, his backside is bare. So get ready to see some gnorc booty. But this guy, I like how in this game they also add in the dialogue from the dragons to acknowledge the different names of the bosses. Like the original, like Toasty was actually mentioned in the last part by the dragon there. And now, one of my favorites, Trondo.
Dr. Shemp thinks he's so cool. You don't know what it's been like listening to him over and over. But I tell you one thing, he should watch his back.
Yeah, literally. I wouldn't be surprised if you end up doing that yourself, Dreads. Alright, so let's see what we got here. Yeah, he tries to think he's so cool. One strategy I always done when I did this before, like originally I would just hop up and he'd see me and then run. And then just duck down there before he showed his butt. And that kind of works. I don't know why. There was a weird thing with his detection of me before in the original game where you could just jump and he just go through his animation to run and attack you. But it is interesting. Oh, you're thinking Papu Papu? I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, this game did come after the original Crash, so... Here, though, you gotta make sure that you get a little bit closer. And you gotta time it right when he turns. Classic. And this last one, you gotta be really fast with your timing so you can at least hit him in the butt. Because he's a lot quicker. Got it! Okay. And I did not get hit by him once, so that's probably what that skill point was. Matter of fact, let's take a look and see what the heck that was. If I can, let's see. Okay, there's some of these things that I could not do in the previous one, but I was able to get some of these here. So, Stonehill and Town Square, they're easy to do. For the bulls, you just have to charge them first instead. And you really gotta find that pink tulip, so you'll be flaming grass a lot in Stonehill. But for this point, all you really have to do now, get the last of the gems. Yeah, that was easy. Spyro 1 bosses are pretty simple and bare bones, look. You know, Spyro 1 bosses, I mean, Spyro 2 bosses, they actually ramp it up a little bit. Although, in some points, it does feel a little on the cheap side because of how they have the camera, which was oddly fixed by Sanzaru with the third game in this one. And, yeah, that is true, Pika. Insomniac and Naughty Dog were kind of office buddies. They shared Universal Interactive Studios offices, which really felt unfair when the Crash developers of Naughty Dog ended up having to be sitting out in the hot California sun and during the development of Crash 3. Not fair. Well, that about does it for this one. I'm just going to head over to the balloonist, and we'll see where we go from here. Well, first, actually, I want to have a full health bar by the time we get started with the next one. So let me get to the boss first. Or the balloonist.
I can't believe how fast you found so much stolen treasure. Hop aboard for the Magic Crafter's world if you're ready.
I'm just going to head there, save the game, and then we'll get going from there. But thanks again for joining in, guys. It's been a blast playing this one with you. For the record, you have to get a certain amount of treasure in order to get to this point. I've already collected more than enough at this point. I honestly lost track. And really, I also have to use the restroom shortly. But, who knows? If I got time, I may try this game later. Which, if you can't tell, the 7 Deadly Sins game, Nanatsu no Taizai. In this case, 7 Deadly Sins, Knights of Britannia. This is more for me getting into the mood to review the anime once I do that. Honestly, I think Tom Kenny is going to be the definitive Spyro voice from now on. I don't think it's going to be that hard for them to do that, but we'll see. Either way, yeah, that's about it for this round, guys. Had a blast with this one. It's a nice short thing before I try to do any reviews or anything like that. If you guys would like me to try this game later today, I'll be glad to give it a test run. But I'm probably going to be playing the game with my folks. Oh, you didn't know, Muck? Yeah, I'm not joking. Knights of Britannia for the PS4. I was fortunate that I got this game when I did. And they also released a game on mobile devices by Netmarble, which I'm about to get into at one point myself. Either way, yeah. Tune in next time, folks. I will continue with this stream another time of Spyro, and we will do Magic Crafters on the next one. Not sure when that'll be, but if I got the time, I'll let you guys know in advance. Otherwise, if you liked what you see, make sure to comment down below. It's okay, Sean, don't worry about it, as long as you guys are willing to do this. But yeah, I will let you guys know in advance if I'm doing another stream of any game. So, if you like this video, hit the like button down below, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and even leave a comment somewhere along the way if you really enjoyed it. Give me some kind of comment. What did you like to see out of another Spyro game? Until next time, folks, and I'll catch you guys next time. Crossover Kingdom. Johnny.